It's a lot more complicated than just Dr. Murray was at his bedside when he died. Circumstances had been leading up to this day for years.
Michael Jackson, the king of pop, a name that defined music, broke records, and changed the world forever. But now, over a decade after his shocking death, his brother has come forward with a chilling revelation: Michael's last words. And according to him, those words may not just reveal the pain Michael was in during his final days, but also point to a dark force within the music industry, a group of so-called gatekeepers who Michael believed were controlling his life, his art, and even his destiny.
Michael graduated from pain meds to anesthesia. He used it to sleep, and he became shockingly reliant on it. A lot of people were saying privately, Michael's addictions and the cancellation of the Dangerous tour were directly connected.
What we are about to share with you might just change the way you look at Michael Jackson's story forever. This is not just a tribute to the king of pop. This is an exploration into his final moments, his warnings about the industry, and the bombshell claims from one of the people who knew him best, his own brother. Michael Jackson wasn't just an entertainer. He was a revolutionary. From the moment he moonwalked across the stage at Motown 25 to the release of Thriller, the biggest selling album of all time, Michael lived under a level of pressure and attention few human beings could ever imagine.
After my tour ended, I remained out of the country undergoing treatment for a dependency on pain medication. This medication was initially prescribed to soothe the excruciating pain that I was suffering after recent reconstructive surgery on my scalp.
And he dominated the charts for decades, earning 13 Grammys, multiple Guinness World Records, and a level of global fame that was both a blessing and a curse. But behind the flashing lights and screaming fans, Michael was fighting battles most of us never saw. He often spoke, cryptically but urgently, about the music industry being full of conspiracies. In one famous speech, he told fans that there's a conspiracy. The history books are lying. They don't want you to know the truth. He accused record executives of trying to destroy him, of trying to steal his music catalog, and of silencing his voice whenever he tried to speak out. And then came June 25th, 2009, the day the world stopped. Michael Jackson was gone. The official cause of death: acute propofol intoxication. His personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, was later convicted of involuntary manslaughter. The narrative seemed settled: a tragic accident, the result of poor medical judgment, and an artist under unbearable pressure. But for Michael's family and millions of his fans, that explanation was never enough. Something didn't add up. Michael, they say, was scared in the days leading up to his death. He reportedly told close friends and family that, "They're trying to kill me," a statement that has haunted his supporters ever since. And now, one of his brothers has gone on record, revealing what Michael's very last words were.
There's nothing I can do to take it back. And if someone was hurt by it, saying I'm sorry.
According to him, Michael's final message was not just a personal goodbye. It was a warning, a clue, a final cry for help. In a recent interview, Michael's brother spoke with a mix of sadness and urgency. He knew something was coming, he said. He told us, "They're after me. They don't want me to do these shows. They don't want me to speak out." Those were some of his last words. He was scared, but he also wanted the world to know the truth. He wanted to warn us. Imagine hearing that from your own brother. The emotional weight of those words left the family devastated and furious. If Michael was trying to warn them, then who were they? Who was after him? This is where the conversation turns dark and controversial. Michael's brother claims that there are gatekeepers in the music industry, powerful figures who control which artists rise and which artists fall, who gets protection and who gets destroyed. These are the same types of people Michael was reportedly fighting when he was battling for control of his music catalog, which included a massive stake in Sony/ATV, one of the most valuable music publishing catalogs in history. For years, Michael had been in disputes over that catalog, which contained the publishing rights to the Beatles' music. It was worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and many in the industry were said to be furious that Michael had acquired it back in the 1980s. Some believe this made him a target, that forces within the industry wanted that catalog back and were willing to do whatever it took to get it. When you go back and listen to Michael's interviews in the years before his death, the pattern becomes chilling. In 2002, at a rally in London, he told fans, "The history books are lies."
I never enabled his addiction, which I was not aware of. Your Honor, I am an innocent man. They accused me of having Michael on a 3-hour propofol infusion. That was false.
We know the media is lying to you. The music industry is full of manipulation. He went on to accuse his record label head, Tommy Mottola, of being devilish. These were not small accusations. They were bold, public declarations that put Michael on a collision course with some of the most powerful people in entertainment. So when his brother now says that Michael's last words were a warning about the same people, it forces us to re-examine everything. Fans all over the world have been reacting with shock and anger. Social media has exploded with hashtags like #JusticeForMJ and #MJ was right, with millions of posts demanding a deeper investigation into the circumstances surrounding his death. Some fans are even calling for the case to be reopened, saying that Dr. Conrad Murray was just a scapegoat, and that the real forces responsible were never brought to justice. Even some celebrities have begun to weigh in. A few have publicly supported the Jackson family's call for truth, while others have been more cautious, saying that it's dangerous to point fingers without hard evidence.
When I do those solo albums and I'm doing all kinds of different music, it's wonderful. I feel like I'm accomplishing what I'm supposed to do.
And you don't feel guilty or worried about your brothers?
No.
One thing is clear, Michael's story is far from over. When we connect the dots, a chilling picture emerges. Michael's last words were not random. They were part of a larger pattern. A man who felt hunted, silenced, and betrayed. A man who knew he was in danger but refused to stop fighting for his music, his art, and his freedom. So, what does this mean for the music industry today? It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions. Are artists truly free? Or are they trapped in a system controlled by unseen forces, the so-called gatekeepers, who decide what we hear, what we see, and who we celebrate? Michael Jackson may be gone, but his warnings are echoing louder than ever. Maybe this revelation will reignite the conversation